everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Coffee Talk with Celestine Grace and our special guest tonight, who is Jess. And we're interviewing the amazing, incredible, wonderful, inspiring, and I could just go on and on and on, Chris Cornell. So, yeah, everybody clap. And I have to tell you that I always allow who we're interviewing to choose what song represents them, represents their life. So stand by 1 second while I get this, hopefully in the right spot. Wow.
Good choice. Thank you, Chris.
It's just always amazing to me the energy I get, and Chris sat and played this for me while we were here. And you know, I always say this, but I can't emphasize enough what an incredible honor it is to have the energy that is Chris Cornell and all that is and was Chris Cornell. You know, just incredible. So welcome everybody, and Chris is excited to be here. I have to tell you that he's been with me all day, he's been with Jess all day. I'm sure he's been with a shit ton of people because he's like that, and there's a really special reason why he wants to communicate with everybody and why he's come so soon after his departure, because he's really got a deep and incredible message. He wants to talk about addiction and depression. So he wants to let you all know, whatever you might have heard in the news, it doesn't matter what you heard. I would have never intentionally taken my own life and left that legacy for my family. I just couldn't one more time disappoint them with the addiction. And I took one more. And I couldn't climb out of the black hole. That black hole sun ate me up. So no matter what conspiracy theories there are out there, I want you to know that my death was absolutely a result of my addiction. So anyways, he just wanted to get, I'm going to clear that up, get it out of the way, we'll get our questions. And I do have one question. Let me put my glasses on so hopefully I can read it. If you ever came to a crossroads where one decision could have led to your happiness and the other decision could have led to your demise. And, Chris is his ever handsome self, and he's got his curly black hair down to here, and he's sitting and he just leans over and he goes, man, fucking great question. And I gotta tell you, Brandy, every fucking time, every time I thought that it was either going to lead to my happiness or my demise. I didn't realize I had that choice. I had that choice every stinking day to choose happiness and focus on that. I couldn't climb. I couldn't climb out of the hole. I don't want anybody to think that addiction's pretty. It's a struggle. It's a struggle every day. It's a struggle every line. It's a struggle every shot. But you can do it. You got this, man. Okay, bring on the questions.
Well, there's no coincidence that I'm here, and I myself have had a long struggle with addiction. It hasn't been the addiction Chris was involved with. I'm not sure the particulars with his, but I had a decade-long eating disorder and used alcohol, and it's the same no matter what shape or form it comes. Addiction is addiction, and it sucks, and it's hard, and it can knock you on your ass, and some people can never come out, and the depression that comes with it, the anxiety, I could go on and on. But Chris, I feel for you because I have been down some pretty dark roads, and you have helped me with your music. You've given me a reason to look ahead, and I resonated so much with your lyrics, with your just the talent that you put out, and you put your heart out there for all of us to see. It wasn't some sugar-coated candy pop music that the industry wanted to put out. This was you. This was your voice, and it helps so many people that I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and sharing your love. And I'm so sorry that you're gone on the other side. I know you're not really gone, but I'm sorry that we've lost you in this form.
He says just his message for you is that he's finally free. And he just did this little tap dance, like I've got nothing heavy weighing me down. And he's looking real good. And he says that he wants to help you whenever you feel like that might be an issue. And he says, you're absolutely right. Addiction is addiction. It doesn't matter what form it takes. What addiction is about is filling some hole, some lack, some feeling of lack, some not feeling good enough. Whatever it is, whatever form it takes, eating, alcohol, meth, whatever it is. Cleaning.
Thank you. Thank you up in your offer to help. I just wanted to ask, there are many questions I have, but was this part of your soul contract, or did you decide to exit early?
He says everything's a part of your soul contract, honestly. And yeah, there's a few exit points if you want to take them. Was this early for me? No. No, it was the right time. I couldn't bear to put my family through that again.
So does that mean that there's not any karmic debt to pay for this? Is that something?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Will you have to pay any karmic debt from this by coming in and reincarnating again, or what's the trade-off on the spirit side?
So no, he says there's no such thing as karma, so there can't be any such thing as karmic debt. Do I have to come back and learn another lesson? He says, fuck no. I learned every lesson from addiction I possibly could have learned in that lifetime. My message was out there, and it was time for me to be released from the pain of depression. It wasn't intentional.
So if you hadn't taken, there's been obviously speculation, Dr. Drew Pinsky and others have mentioned the Ativan. If you hadn't taken the combination of Ativan and lorazepam, I guess was another drug they mentioned, that you wouldn't be in the situation. So is that something that you can agree with, that it was just too much of the medicine?
It was too much that I took one more Ativan. It was the Ativan. It was one more Ativan, and it pushed me over the edge.
And I know Vicky, your wife, had mentioned that you sounded different on the phone when you talked to her that night. That you were hearing your words, that you had, you just seemed different and off. She could tell, and um, I know that you were a loved family man. You had three amazing children. And what messages do you have for your family at this time?
Vicky, my soulmate, my love, my twin flame, my everything. I'm so sorry I could not crawl out of this depression. Babe, I could not, for one more second, put you through. Everything that I put you through prior. And when I took that one more Ativan, I knew I knew I was addicted again. I couldn't help myself. I just wanted to feel good. I couldn't feel good. I couldn't feel like me. I couldn't feel normal. And I just kept wanting to feel normal. And the problem really was, sweetheart, that I don't think I ever knew what normal felt like other than being with you and the kids. For my kids, remember the me that bounced you on my knee and tucked you in goodnight and sang songs and laughed. Sorry. Remember all the good times, because that's us. Remember all the hugs. I'm still there. I haven't really left. I watch you all. I love you all. My love never ends. And then he blows kisses.
Maybe open to channelings like this, receiving messages in this way? Are they open spiritually enough to believe this?
He says that Vicky is open to this type of thing, but she's so deeply hurt right now that she's afraid to believe anything. That, if she believes and then somehow it's not true, she'll have lost me another time. The children are very open. They'll notice. They'll notice I mess with them. That'll be evolving as well, because each and every one of them are just still hurting so deeply. No matter what way I left, it would be a hole.
Speaking of you leaving, what was your experience like crossing over? Who was there to greet you? Was there, I'm sure you had a lot of friends on the other side that were welcoming you, but can you explain what you experienced?
He's like, yeah. It was like mind blowing, because I I went to sleep. And it was like I woke up in this really cool dream. And while I was here on Earth, I don't know that I had any one set idea of what it would be like to die other than feeling no pain. Some people say, you have like your grandma come meet you and your past relatives and all that. I don't know that I had that belief. And when I got up there, my mind was blown. Holy fucking shit. We got Michael Jackson, we got Whitney Houston, I got all of them. And then I was like, I'm dreaming. And as I looked down, I see my body, and That's the ultimate realization that I was no longer in my body. And then I felt the pull back to heaven, whatever realm, whatever you want to call that, the other vibration.
Did you experience pain? Did you
Did he?
feel
Did he?
experience pain? Any pain going through that for you, or just the pull?
No, man, pain. No, there's no such thing as pain over here. I went to sleep and that was it. Boom, pal zoom. I was over there, and honestly, I'm very, very peaceful and happy to be here, and everything is beautiful.
I'm happy for you that you're lighter. I part of me is jealous because we're still obviously in this 3D lower energy space here, and I would want to know what that's like, but not just yet. Um, what advice do you have for those of us here still struggling with the 3D energies and the negativity? Other
Here's
than
what
do
he
you,
says. When you were talking, he's like, no, no, man, no. No, you don't want to be over here yet. Honestly, every second there is a gift. You designed this. It may be heavy, but you can't feel that here. There's nothing like that here. Take into consideration you make this contract and you're like, well, over here everything's like so fucking awesome. And what? And how? How do I know? So we come to Earth to feel the polar opposite and everything in between. So everything your soul takes back here, you merge back with Source, and you are Source, and Source is so exuberant to have you back in all the experiences. So enjoy every second. The highs, the lows, the in-betweens, the on boards, the everything. Because it's an instant, man. It's an instant.
so does that mean there's part of you that might regret your decision, or was that's what you needed to do at the time?
He's like, oh shit, no. He's so freaking handsome, and he's got his glasses on, and I adore his eyes. I noticed how blue they are. So I asked him to take his glasses off. And I'm melting because his energy is pretty close, honestly. Can you remind me of the question? Because I'm like, oh,
Oh, that's okay.
sorry about that.
No, he answered it. Another question: what were your spiritual beliefs before you crossed over, and what are they now? How does that differ?
So he says, I don't know that I had any set religious belief. He says, I was spiritual. I believe in one love. I believed in one source energy, one God, whatever you like to call it. But I don't know that I would ever subscribe to an every week ritual. I don't know what I expected over here or what I believed. Honestly, when I played music and sang, I channeled. That was spirit and energy coming through me. I didn't quite understand that is exactly what it was, but that's what it was.
So were you channeling your higher self, or just spirit in general? Was there a difference
He
there?
says, yes, both my higher self and others that wanted to come through me. Jimi Hendrix quite often visited, all the guitar greats. Miles Davis, I don't know what Miles played, but he talked about him earlier too. The jazz, some of the jazz people that he says I just really vibed with. And here they are on the other side, and my energy, my crown chakra is open because for me, playing music and singing music and writing music was channeling feelings, channeling everything. I channeled spirit, I channeled my emotions.
But did you realize that at the time, or just Oh,
he says, I had an idea that's what was happening, but I don't know if I wanted to admit it to myself.
I know you weren't big on labels. That's what I love about you. You didn't want to put a label on anything or categorize anything. And people that asked in an interview if your last album or Entire Truth was spiritual, and you kind of quickly said no. Like it's not a spiritual album. It's not. You were kind of you seem to be put off by being stuck in a category. So I love that you were just honest and true to yourself. Um,
He says, what you have to, when you're in the media like I was and out there, you really have to watch how you classify yourself, because people will twist and throw negativity at it and twist it for what it's not. So I didn't want to give them the opportunity to twist anything that was pure.
True. I think that's a good thing. That's part of why I loved your work, is you were just authentic, you were yourself, and unapologetically you.
He
Uh,
said, thank you. He says, I gave a big fuck you to the world a lot of times, but whatever, I was always me.
but that's what people need. It's refreshing. So I have another question too. You were mentioning Prime Creator Source Energy. Have you met Source Energy? Like, did that blow your fucking mind to meet Source?
So his eyes light up, and he becomes just pure energy, like vibrating like so fast. And he comes, and Jesse looks at you and he goes, shit girl, I am source energy. We are all source energy. The biggest illusion down there on earth, the biggest blind, is that you're separate ever from source. It was a brilliant experience to lose. And he's not even showing me lose. Like, you know how you have a pixel, and it fades away and like pixelated? Well, that's how he's showing his humanity, his humanness falling away when he went back to source energy. Okay, so he says, at base is always source. The pixelation is the human. That's pretty. I'm impressed, man. Thank you. Right?
Yes.
We're actually pixelations, and he and he looks at me, goes, mind equals blown, right? Because this everything that we're touching, you're seeing, is an illusion. So when you go back to source, the illusion pixelates away. Fuck yeah, he goes.
And what music do you hear? Prince, when Prince came in the interview, he was trying to describe music. It was like this extra sensory on the other side. How do you describe the music that you hear on the other side?
So he's like this, and he's playing with his chin, or his chin, whatever's here. It looks like a little beard, goatee or something, yeah. Um, okay, so he says, it's totally impossible to describe music on this side in words. So I am going to do my best to describe music, and it's going to be even a poor representation at that. As you experience it on this side, imagine this. Every one of your senses is fucking alive. Like you smoke the best weed and everything's just vibrating, right? And you see the best freaking art in the world. And you feel the most love. And all at that time, you feel like it's the biggest orgasm you've ever had in your life. It's mind blowing to try and describe this so humans can understand the vastness of what music is over here.
Well, I'm looking forward to that when I get there. For now, I'll just have to listen to you again. But
He
uh,
says, rock on.
and did you have a life review?
So his life review, he says, was quite stunning. And he chose to have one. He says, you don't always necessarily need a life review, but why come here and not make sure and not go over the moments, the lessons, the hard, the good, the bad, everything? Why not? He says, there's no judgment. So I chose to have a life review. And the biggest part is I understood why the hole in my soul, why the addiction, when I went through this life review. And then I watched the rise and the fall, and I watched without judgment, without pain, and I understood the lesson for which I came there for. So while it wasn't always easy to watch, it certainly was a great ride, and I enjoyed every moment of my life review.
Good for you. I'm sure it wasn't easy to do that. So we come here for lessons, though. That's the whole point, is to learn from all of this. So I think that's a good place to watch it.
Yep.
And I felt that we have a past life connection. Can you tap in to see my last incarnation? There was some, like a farm life that I was told you and I had a connection with. Is there a way that you can pick up on that, or is that too soon crossing over where you aren't able to do that?
Well, I can always tap into that. He just looked at me and went, and then he sat back and he giggled. He's just making a little fun of me. So if you stand by, I will, he looks at me and goes, you're so funny. You really think you're going to have to ask your peeps when I'm sitting right here? And I'm like, well, shit, dude, come on then, spill the beans. So he's showing me girls, and you both look alike. So twin girls is what I'm seeing. So sisters, and I'm trying to get a time frame on this, and I don't feel like it's all that long ago. Like it's before. Thank you. It's the early 1900s, is what I'm seeing, and you were here in America.
It was feeling like it was the last incarnation I had in like a farm country I was seeing, and I felt like siblings, but I couldn't verify twins.
I feel like it's America, or you can meditate on that and ask him. Maybe you originated in Europe and came here. But I just see like he's like, we had this best bond, and we grew up together, and um, one of you didn't get married, one did, but the bond never broke. So yeah,
I knew there was something so strong between us.
like friends, like the best of friends is what he's showing me. Like you did everything.
Thank you for that. Wow.
He says, like this, he does to you.
Awesome. Chris, what was your higher purpose? Did you have a specific message or anything that you wanted to do and fulfill in this lifetime? Obviously, you accomplished a lot, but did you have a specific purpose?
So and he sits forward again to think about this. And I don't know if he ever smoked when he was here on this side, but I just keep feeling like he wants to smoke. And because he's thinking hard, right? Or that's what he would appear to me to be doing, is thinking hard. And he says the funny part about my life purpose was I didn't realize I was living it and fulfilling it all at the same time while being so depressed and so low and so unable to shake the need for chemical intervention to help me feel even, like on an even level. Um, but it was through that addiction that my life purpose, through my music, through reaching so many people, was lived every single day that I made music, and every single day thereafter I was recorded. So my life purpose was, yeah, make that music and get that message out there. And, I didn't understand the addiction's role in that. But how bittersweet is it to have chosen that? I chose to be addicted and to not even realize the beauty of my gift, of my life purpose, of what I had, of the power I had.
Well, that's an important message for anyone else struggling with addiction, and hoping you can relay that to a lot of people now. So
Well, so, he's talking about his wanting to help people from the other side and being able to, now that he can be in like, a trillion places at once, he says, right? Like Eric, like our bud Eric. And he says he's going to be there encouraging them to put the foot forward, to learn what that black hole is inside of your soul. Because you can fix the addiction. It's the black hole that really needs to be fixed first. Man, identify that shit. Exercise that shit out. Don't allow the shit to control your experience here. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're 2 months into your addiction. I don't care if you're 50 fucking years into your addiction. You can take the first step by figuring what that hole is.
and if you don't, it'll be shown in another way. I know I have an autoimmune illness now because I'm away from my addiction, but it makes you ill in other ways to teach you. So that's what we go through in life, guys.
And that's the truth. And the universe pushes you, and we all picked and chose this before we came here. And he just looked at me and he goes, you know what? The key is to not judge it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Work through it. Don't judge it. He says, because then you win.
True. I would think you've had a ton of support and love, obviously, and this outpouring from fans and fans that are doing tributes. What's your reaction to all the love that people are sharing? Fans, in memory of you singing your songs, and it's just
Man, I didn't know people would be so emotional. I thought, that, it'd be like some old time news, that guy from that old band, Soundgarden, and all the other bands, that old guy, he just popped off.
you were young.
And I didn't realize that I had such a profound effect.
You absolutely did. So it's just
Eric's got a question for him. And before Eric or I forget, because we have that problem. I'm going to ask it, and hold on. So, Eric sits down next to him. It's not their first chat, and he, shakes hands, and they got this crazy little handshake going on. And and they're just chatting about how much of a chasm it feels like to try and climb out of when that depression has taken hold. and that you can put on a face and a front to everybody in your life, and they don't see the chasm. And they're looking at me and they're saying, get help for the addiction. That's what our message is. We'll help. We'll both help. Ask for help. We will cheer you on. There won't be any time when we tell you go the other way. We're telling you, you always have the choice to move forward. And so it wasn't a question, it was a little conversation from my bud Eric Medhus.
Absolutely love Eric. So hi, Eric. Thank you. And
He
it's
says,
nice
"What up?"
to get all the help we can get, man. So thanks for your help, and thanks for popping around my place too. He actually tore the blinds off my window because I used to shut my blinds when I would go in. He just knocked that fucking right off my window and opened that shit up for me, and it's helped in the weirdest ways. It's nice to have a little Eric prank now and then that can actually help you. So
He said you needed light.
I did. I know. Thank you.
So, do we have any viewer questions? Did we cover?
One viewer question for this is from Vicky Turner Sebastian.
Okay, hey Vicky.
So she asked Chris, is something major going to happen in the world in the next several years?
Well, listen, the two of them are like laughing their asses off. I have this couch that they're on, and it's a blue couch. Okay, so Eric's got his typical Metallica T-shirt on, and Chris is just as handsome as ever, and they're laughing, and they're like, Vicky, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing at the world. You're gonna notice major shit happening like every fucking week, dude. Get used to it, because this is what it's about. People are standing up and saying, we need change. So don't add to the vibration of negativity when this stuff happens. You stay above it. You keep meditating. You keep giving positive energy to a positive outcome, and that's what it'll take. But we want you to know that peace doesn't come from peace, it comes from chaos. So right now you're in the chaos. Have faith and keep that positive vibe going.
Awesome. Well said.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we came here. There's going to be chaos, and we have to learn from this shit. So that's
Yep.
the message. Okay. I think he answered all my questions that I had. Was there anything that you wanted to ask him as well?
No, I just wanted to thank him and Eric for, showing up, and especially Chris, since I really haven't been familiar with his music at all, and I feel like I have a new friend in Chris and his music, which he's opened me up to something I would not have normally listened to, and it's beautiful. It's amazing to watch him sing and channel, and when he plays the guitar, it's just it's a symphony all in one being. So yep, so that's what I want to say. Thank you, and thank you so much. I so appreciate you tonight, Jess, and so we want to give shout outs tonight. Thank you, Holly, for all the work you do.
Thanks, Holly.
She's amazing, and check out and please subscribe to the YouTube Coffee Talk with Celestine Grace, and we have Basics 101 on the Facebook channel. And please check out my man Eric and his mom Elisa Medhus blog, channelingeric.com. That's Eric with a K.com. And yeah, so everybody, thanks for watching and showing up, and thanks so much for such a wonderful, positive interview, Chris and Eric. I love you. And they're both blowing kisses, and Eric's making fun of me. Yeah. And Chris is just, peace out. Jess, thank you so much.
Thank you. This is great. Awesome. Yeah,
Sending you so much love.
Any love too.